There's a type of person who walks into any crisis, leaking pipe, dead battery, complete emotional meltdown, goes quiet for exactly 1 second, and then just starts fixing it. No panic, no Googling with shaking hands, just thinking, then doing. And you're standing there wondering what's wrong with you that your first instinct was to spiral. So what actually separates them from everyone else? It's not experience, it's not intelligence. And once you understand what it actually is, you'll start seeing it everywhere. It comes down to one belief. Back in the late 70s, psychologist Albert Bandura identified something he called self-efficacy. Strip away the academic language and it's simply this: the belief that you are capable of handling what's in front of you. Not general optimism, not everything will be fine. Something much more specific. I've handled things before. This thing in front of me is handleable. Bandura found that this belief alone changes how long someone persists at a hard problem before quitting, and how much effort they pour in when it gets difficult, where it comes from. Think about the first time a kid tries to fix something, actually tries, and it works. They wiggled the wire and the lamp turned on. They rebooted the computer and it worked. They put pressure on the cut and the bleeding stopped. That moment does something that has nothing to do with the lamp or the cut. It rewires how they see themselves in relation to problems. Suddenly, the world isn't something that just happens to them. It's something they can reach into and change. Bandura called these moments mastery experiences, and research consistently ranks them as the single most powerful source of self-efficacy. Not being told you're capable, not watching someone else do it, actually doing it yourself. That's the thing that sticks. But here's what surprises most people. When a natural fixer walks into a broken situation, they are not certain it will work out. They don't carry some magical guarantee. They feel the same uncertainty you feel. What's different is that uncertainty doesn't feel like a verdict to them. It feels like a starting point. Psychologists call this tolerance of ambiguity, the ability to sit inside a situation where you don't yet know the answer and not fall apart while you figure it out. People who struggle with ambiguity need resolution fast. They need to know it's going to be okay right now. When they can't get that reassurance, anxiety takes over and they freeze. Or they hand the problem to whoever looks calm and slowly back away. The fixer in your life learned somewhere along the way to be okay in that uncomfortable in-between space. Now here's the part nobody talks about. Some people who know how to fix everything, emotionally, practically for everyone around them, are not doing it from a place of strength. Some of them learned to fix things because it was how they earned their place. The approval was in the solution. Standing there helpless was, at some point in their life, genuinely dangerous. So their nervous system made a decision: I will never be helpless again. That's not a superpower. That's a coping mechanism wearing a superpower's costume. The tell? Ask them to let someone else handle something. They physically cannot relax. They're hovering, offering suggestions nobody asked for, needing it to be fixable. Not just for your sake, but because an unfixed problem somewhere in their environment feels like an unfixed problem inside of them. But then there's the other kind. The person who fixes things out of genuine curiosity, because broken things actually fascinate them. The gap between not working and working is one of the most interesting places in the world to them. They'll tear apart something they already fixed just to understand it better. They'll explain what went wrong with a level of detail nobody asked for, genuinely delighted like they just discovered something beautiful. These are the people who fell in love with competence itself, not the outcome, the process, the figuring out. Being around people like that is one of the most recalibrating things you can do, because what they model without even trying is that not knowing how to do something is just a temporary state, that broken is not permanent, that you can put your hands on a problem and actually move it. And if that feels foreign to you, the reason you outsource your broken things isn't a character flaw, it's a history, a set of experiences that taught you that problems are things that happen to you, not the other way around. And that isn't permanent either. Bandura's entire argument is that self-efficacy builds through experience. Small wins, tiny moments of I tried and it worked, not giant heroic fixes. Just, you tightened the screw, you made the call, you didn't wait for someone to save you. That's where it starts. But understanding this is only half of it. The harder part is actually doing something with that understanding. Because awareness without action has a way of just becoming more material for your brain to loop over. You see the pattern, you name it, you think about it a lot, and nothing moves. If that's where you are right now, I've put something together specifically for that gap. It's linked in the description. Daily steps, no motivation required, built around breaking exactly this kind of loop. And if this video made you see yourself or someone you know differently, subscribe, because that's exactly what this channel is for videos.